Hi folks, and welcome to our hands-on look at Plex's new search and discovery tools. We're going to spend a few minutes exploring the platform's newest features, how well they work, and more. But before we test drive these newest features, let's first go over what Plex is actually offering in these latest updates. What's new with Plex? So yes, in case you didn't catch the news earlier this month, Plex announced some new features that it says can help ease what it's calling the streaming struggle. And as for what that, shall we say, condition is, Plex describes it as the act of spending too much time bouncing from app to app and service to service, trying to zero in on something to watch. It's something many of us are probably familiar with, so kudos to Plex for applying a little branding to the phenomenon. But what exactly is the platform trying to do about it? Well, earlier this month, Plex announced some enhancements to its search and discovery tools. In short, the new additions allow users to search for shows and movies to watch, and Plex will offer up results for what it says is virtually any streaming service. So if a given title isn't currently available in Plex's own catalog, the search results will offer up options for services that do offer access. Beyond that, Plex is also offering a Universal Watchlist where you can list off titles you eventually want to check out, and the app will let you know when they become available on the services you subscribe to. And that includes movies that haven't been released yet. Plex's press materials use the new Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as an example. That film has not been released, at least at the time we recorded this video, but when it finally does and when it arrives on a streaming service like, Disney Plus, the app should let you know. At least that's how Plex says it's supposed to work, but let's see what it's like to use these features for real. Hands-on with Plex's new search and discovery features. So we tried out Plex's new features on a variety of platforms, including Android TV, Apple TV, iPhone, Roku, and the WebOS software built into my 2018-era OLED TV. And you should be seeing footage from some of those in this section. If you haven't tried out the app before, or if you haven't visited since these new features were added, you'll likely be greeted by a few intro screens, including one that lets you select the streaming services you're most interested in. And yes, you'll be able to tweak that list later in the settings section if you change your mind. In all, the app supports 168 services, at least at the time we recorded this video, and Plex says it'll surface search results from all of them. Once you get into the actual app, you'll notice a new section dubbed Discovery. Although do note that beta label right there. That's where you'll be able to search for titles on all those other streaming services. If a given title is available, you'll see tiles for the various options, as well as notes on whether access to that title is free with a subscription to a given service, or available to buy or rent. When you first open up the Discovery section, you'll be greeted with trending content, including trailers for upcoming movies, and what Plex deems as currently popular on the services you selected earlier. In our case, those trending titles included Pachinko on Apple TV Plus and Turning Red over on Disney Plus. On some platforms, you can select that title and the Plex app will go ahead and open up the appropriate service for you, which is a pretty seamless transition from search to actually watching content. However, at the time we recorded this video, that ability to open up another service's app was not available on all versions of Plex's software, and you can see the affected platforms on your screen right now. On the Roku version of Plex's app, for instance, when we selected Turning Red, it correctly listed Disney Plus as the streaming service of choice, but when we selected that option, we got a message saying that, for now at least, we'd need to open the appropriate app on our own. Not a huge deal breaker necessarily, but it does interrupt that seamless experience a bit and highlights the beta nature of this new feature. Elsewhere in the Discovery tab, you'll get suggestions for new content on your preferred services and other services, as well as rows dedicated to specific genres like New for the Family or Popular in Drama. As for the search function, we were able to track down old favorites and upcoming titles fairly easily. And brand new options like the Michelle Yeoh film Everything Everywhere All at Once offered up trailers and the option to add it to our watch list. Speaking of that watch list, you can find it within the home section of Plex's app. Scroll over to it and you'll see your current collection of must-watch titles. Those titles will also show up in the Discovery tab under a section called Available from your watch list. Although in our initial tests on a Roku device, it only displayed the film Turning Red at first. Opening up options and then choosing to browse this section finally revealed the other titles currently in our watch list. So clearly some bugs and inconsistencies left to work out. Speaking of, initial thoughts and what we'd like to see next. So Plex's new features are definitely intriguing and seem to address some of the key issues with streaming entertainment, namely keeping track of which services are offering the titles you're actually interested in and making it easier to compile an overall watch list. But as Plex points out, this is still considered a beta product, so what issues and changes would we like to see in the future? Well, for one, we'd like more of a seamless transition from finding a search result on Plex's app to firing up the desired show or movie in another service's app. Right now, not all versions of Plex's app can manage that trick, so we'd love to see more consistency in the future. We'd also like more stability overall. We ran into some issues, for example, trying to access the Discovery section on our iPhone app, which isn't a great thing to run into with a brand new feature. Also, while pulling search results from other services seems to work well at the moment, it'll be interesting to see how those other companies react to more users initiating their search within Plex's app instead of their own apps. Time will tell if those other services continue to play nicely with Plex, but for now it's definitely a useful feature and well worth checking out. Oh, and one quick request: when you're in the settings section and scrolling through the list of 160 plus streaming services, a search function would be nice. It takes an awful long while to navigate down to a service like Vudu. Just saying. Wrapping it all up. And so that's our hands-on look at Plex's new search and discovery features. And if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you've also given the new features a shot, let us know what your experiences have been like so far. And likewise, if this video has gotten you sufficiently intrigued to try them out for yourself, feel free to report your findings in the comments section down below. And before we sign off, just a quick reminder to click on those like and subscribe buttons down below if you haven't already. For now though, my name is Philip Palermo. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.